Will the Earthquake spell be making a comeback in high competitive gameplay? Stay tuned to find out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Joe here, coming at you today from Town Hall 12, and today we're going to take a look at an army that has the new level 5 Earthquake spells involved. We are in Elite Academy, and we got two replays for you today, a before and after effect. So we got a very solid 2-star attack by Ward, followed up by a 3-star attack by William, and the first replay you're going to see the Earthquake spells used at the beginning of the raid, and then the next one is going to be used about midway through the raid. This is the army that we're working with. We got some healers, and you got P.E.K.K.A.s, and you got the bowlers, and then you have the Earthquake spells. There will be a wall wrecker used in this composition. As we look at this base, you have a lot of stuff on the outsides, and the point of this stuff being on the outsides is to be a funneling nightmare and keep you from getting your troops inside the base. As I direct your attention to the center of this base, you can open up 5 different compartments with the Earthquake spells, and that's exactly what Ward's going to do. So we're going to start out with, in this scenario, the 4 Earthquake spells drop first, and he's going to open up the base before the troops ever get in. And as I watch the second replay, and we will get into that in a moment, you will notice that by doing this, you open up the base for all of your troops to just go in and separate and pick different targets. And that's really the thing that stood out to the most when I watched the first replay opposed to the second replay. We're going to start out with the Barbarian King down on the south side, and he's going to be used to funnel. You're going to see another P.E.K.K.A. drop down here in the southern corner where there was an army camp, and it's going to be moving up towards the eastern corner and setting the funnel on the opposite side. You have a P.E.K.K.A. dropped over there in the west, and it's going to work on a few buildings and mortars and defenses over there, followed up by the wall wrecker, bowlers, the remaining P.E.K.K.A., the Grand Warden, Queen, and King. The King is going to kick on the outside of the base, and he's going to go after that elixir storage. And as you can see, the wall wrecker has opened up the compartment and has allowed our troops to enter the base. The Grand Warden's ability is going to be used, and then there is a pair of dragons that come out of the clan castle. Now, as we stop right there, I want you to see what's happening with our dragons. The one dragon from the clan castle did go down due to the Queen. He targeted the troops or the bowlers over here, and then this dragon actually targets the wall wrecker, and it's going to pull this dragon away from the Queen. So the Queen is not going to engage this dragon. The dragon is going to target that wall wrecker and then get caught up on the ice golem and P.E.K.K.A. that come out of it. And you will notice that our troops have basically split in the core. This is really the main emphasis here. You'll see the P.E.K.K.A. bowlers split off. The Queen is on the opposite side of the base, and that dragon is just continuously wrecking shop. It is frozen currently, but it will come unfrozen here in a moment, and then we'll start targeting the P.E.K.K.A.s and just raining down terror on our P.E.K.K.A.s and shutting down the attack ultimately. That is really one of the biggest deciding factors in this replay, where the dragon stays in the air and continues to engage the ground troops. Queen's on the opposite side with a P.E.K.K.A. and Grand Warden, and they are targeting buildings on the outsides of the base, but unfortunately the dragon has done a lot of damage and taken out a lot of troops over there that has basically shut down that more western side assault. And now that dragon's going to retarget, and we are going to go ahead and speed this up, because at this point there's really nothing more that can be done. The Queen does take the dragon down, but it does in fact turn out to be more of a time fail at this point, because you don't have the troops to get this job done. But regardless, let's not discredit Ward. He had a very solid plan here. He does come in with something that can be worked with, and the team takes it back to the drawing board and they make some adjustments to the plan, and then they come back and hit it again for a 3-star. The Queen's going to come around, and she will in fact get down to the remaining defenses, but she's going to get caught up on the wall, and that's going to be the end of the raid. Okay, so in this replay I might do a little bit of stop and go and point out some details along the way, but there were some minor adjustments to the army, dropping a P.E.K.K.A., dropping a bowler, and adding an electro dragon and a balloon. So we have the 5 P.E.K.K.A.s and 9 bowlers this time around. And then you will also notice this area in the base over there in the western side. All these buildings are stacked on top of each other. They're really perfect for chain lightning effect from the E-Drag, and that's what's going to happen first. And then you will see some timing differences between the drops of the earthquake spells and when we use certain things. So just some minor changes from the first attack. We're going to start out with a balloon, and the purpose of that balloon is to seek out the Seeking Air Mines. That's a mouthful. Seeking out the Seeking Air Mines to protect the Electro Dragon and allow it to work and take care of buildings. You will see a P.E.K.K.A. dropped right here on the cannon that is basically replacing the Barbarian King from the first raid, and then a P.E.K.K.A. dropped over here on the southeastern side to work this eastern wall. you will see 3 different P.E.K.K.A.s dropped, followed by the wall wreckers. So you have a bomb tower and a wizard working on those P.E.K.K.A.s, allowing the wall wrecker to get in on the wall and start taking it down. Then the Barbarian King, then the Queen, and the Grand Warden, followed up by the bowlers. So as our troops move in, you will notice that the E-Drag has done a lot of damage to some buildings on the inside of the base, as well as clearing out a nice funnel on that side. We're going to stop it right there because we have the Grand Warden's ability used in this location. There were some giant bombs in this area, and then you also have the volleys from the Eagle Artillery raining down on our troops. You will also notice that the walls have not been opened up by the earthquake spells yet. We're waiting on the dragons to come out of the clan castle, and you will see why here in a minute. So as those dragons approach our troops, they will target the P.E.K.K.A. and they're going to get caught up, and that's basically gives our queen some time. So the queen's going to take down that Inferno Tower, and then she's going to redirect and target the dragons. Both dragons are centralized on the group of P.E.K.K.A. and bowlers, and they will be taken down by the queen. And at the same time, the ice golem that came out of the wall wrecker will freeze that enemy queen and allow the queen time to get in there and take her down. And you will see that the base has mainly been gutted out. The Giga Tesla has done some work and taken out quite a few bowlers, but for the most part, the bowlers and P.E.K.K.A.s stayed grouped up with the Barbarian King, and they will follow that group all the way on the outside of the base and all the way up around. Queen does in fact use her ability and take down the enemy town hall, and the town hall will fall, and then the queen will do some damage over there, but she will in fact go down. But she's done a lot of good work in this raid. She did what she was supposed to do instead of chasing butterflies. All right, so this group, we have a large group of P.E.K.K.A.s. We have a large or a decent sizable amount of bowlers remaining, and they are going to take out defenses on the other side of the wall. But we do have healer coverage. We do have the Grand Warden's aura over everything, and it's giving us some time to work back around the top side of this base. There's going to be a rage spell placed, and they're going to move forward, taking down final buildings and speeding up the raid. On the opposite side, there are some wizards and archers, and they're clearing out some buildings for what they can do. There is a cannon over there that is picking them off, and so really at this point it's just dependent on the remaining army to move fast enough to get this job done and finish taking out the final defenses on this base. But for the most part, Ward started out with a solid plan in the beginning. It's just some minor changes on timing and troop placements or troop types that were used. And I guess really, if you look at it, the placement of the earthquake spells and when they were used really changes the dynamic of the attack. So it's really up to you guys. What do you guys think? Do you think that the earthquake spell is going to be making a comeback? I don't know. We'll see how it works out in the upcoming weeks. This is me doing my best to help you suck less. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and thanks for watching, guys.
You know what I want.
Is that what it says? You know what I want?
You know what I want. It's so funny when
You're so demanding. You're so demanding.
Okay, find it. So that we can
I know,
do the
I'm
dance
trying
party.
to find it. I don't.
Angel says the funny thing is that